2020 New Testament Challenge. Today we're in Mark chapter 4. Here the disciples are in the school of faith. Jesus is speaking to the crowds in parables, but it says in verse 34 that when he gathered his disciples together, then he would explain what all those parables meant. In verse 35, he told the disciples to get into a boat. While the boat was on the water, suddenly a great storm came up. Jesus was asleep in the back of the boat. The waves started to crash over the boat and the water started to fill the boat and it was almost swamped. The disciples made a wrong assumption. They thought that Jesus didn't care. As the disciples were looking at the facts, they knew that the storm was great. They knew that the water was coming inside the boat. They knew that their situation was dire. And then they said, "Jesus, don't you care?" When we look only at the facts, we can make wrong assumptions as well. It's very similar to what took place in Numbers chapter 13. 12 spies went into the promised land. They came back and gave a report, but that report was a bad report. Yes, it was based on facts. Here was some of the fruit of the land, they said, but there's giants in the land and we cannot go in because we are like grasshoppers in our eyes and in the eyes of all those giants. What made their bad report bad was that they left God out. Only 2 spies said, no, we can go in and take control of the land if God is with us. Here the disciples were looking only at the facts that they could see, not realizing what the real truth was, that God was in the boat with them, that their storm did not dictate their future, and that Jesus was bigger than their situation. What did Jesus do? He spoke to the wind and the waves and he said, "Peace, be still," and it became calm. But then he turned to the disciples and he said, "Why were you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Jesus wanted them to have faith and to trust in him. All the things that he had done, all the miracles that they had seen, he wanted them to put that into practice and realize that God was with them. We're in the school of faith as well. Let's not leave God out of our situation, because if God is with us, anything is possible. Thank you for joining the 2020 New Testament Challenge.